Chapter 9, Reproduction in Animals.
We know that all living organisms live for a certain period of time and then die. This reduces the number of individuals of a community. The reduced number is restored by the addition of new individuals through reproduction. The production of new individuals from their parents is known as reproduction. Reproduction is one of the most important characteristics of living organisms. Reproduction is essential for the survival of a species on this earth. Modes of reproduction. There are two main modes of reproduction: sexual reproduction, asexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction, the production of a new animal from the existing two parents by the fusion of their gametes, is called sexual reproduction. It involves the fusion of a male gamete with a female gamete, which leads to the formation of a zygote that develops into a new individual: fishes, frogs, cows, dogs, horses, human beings, etc. Reproduced by sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction, the production of new animals from a single parent without the involvement of gametes, is called asexual reproduction. Since fusion of gametes is not involved, zygotes are not formed in asexual reproduction. The young ones produced are the exact copy of their parents. Amoeba, hydra, yeast, etc. reproduced by asexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction in animals. Most animals reproduce by sexual reproduction. In sexual reproduction, two parents, one male and one female, are involved. They have different reproductive organs. The adult male produces male gametes called sperms, and the adult female produces female gametes called gametogenesis. Fertilization, the fusion of a male gamete sperm with a female gamete ovum to form a zygote during the sexual reproduction is called fertilization. A zygote is a fertilized egg. It is the first cell of a new organism. The fertilization of an egg by a sperm can take place either inside the body of a female or outside its body. So, there are two types of fertilization in animals. External fertilization. The fertilization which occurs outside the female body is called external fertilization. In amphibians, like frogs and toads, and fishes, external fertilization takes place. In frogs, the female lays hundreds of delicate eggs in water. A layer of jelly holds the eggs together and provides protection to the eggs. As the eggs are laid, the male releases a large number of sperms. Each sperm swims randomly in water with the help of its long tail. The sperms come in contact with the eggs, and this results in fertilization. Internal fertilization. The fertilization which occurs inside the female body is called internal fertilization. In internal fertilization, the eggs are fertilized by sperms inside the female's body to form zygote. Internal fertilization takes place in mammals, including human beings, viviparous and oviparous animals. Both in humans and hens, internal fertilization takes place. Humans give birth to babies, whereas hens lay eggs. The animals like humans, dogs, cows, and cats that give birth to young ones are called viviparous animals. The animals like frogs, lizards, butterflies, and hens that lay eggs are called oviparous animals. Reproduction in human beings. Male reproductive organs. The male reproductive organs include a pair of testes, two sperm ducts, urethra, and a penis. Testes, singular, testis. A man has two testes. These are oval in shape. They lie in a small muscular pouch called scrotum outside the abdominal cavity. Scrotum acts as a thermoregulator and keeps the temperature of testes about 1 to 3 degrees Celsius lower than the body temperature, which is necessary for the production of sperms. The function of testes is to produce male gametes called sperms and also to produce the male sex hormone called testosterone. The testes of a man start the formation of sperms on reaching the age of 14 to 15 years and after that throughout his life. The testes of a healthy male produce about 2 billion sperms every day. Each sperm has a head, a middle piece, and a tail. The tail of the sperm helps in its locomotion. A coiled tube-like structure called epididymis is firmly attached to the testis. The sperms are stored temporarily in epididymis. Vas deferens, sperm duct. The vas deferens sperm duct is a narrow duct which starts from the testis and joins the urethra. It carries sperms to the urethra by the muscular action of its wall. Fluid produced by the seminal vesicles mixes with the sperms to produce semen. This fluid provides nourishment to the sperms. Urethra. It is a long tube that arises from the urinary bladder to carry urine. It runs through the penis and opens to the outside through male genital pore. The semen from vas deferens also joins the urethra. Thus, urethra carries urine from the bladder as well as semen, consisting of sperms from the vas deferens through the penis. Penis. Penis is a long and thick muscular organ. It injects the sperms into the vagina of the female body. The male reproductive system also has some accessory glands like seminal vesicles, prostrate gland, and bulbourethral gland. Secretion of these glands constitutes the seminal plasma, which is rich in fructose, calcium, and certain enzymes. Female reproductive system. The female reproductive system consists of a pair of ovaries, oviducts, fallopian tubes, uterus, and vagina. Ovaries. A woman has 2 ovaries present in the abdominal cavity, just below the kidneys. The function of ovaries is to make the female gametes called ova or eggs, and also to secrete the female sex hormones called estrogen, also spelled as estrogen, and progesterone. At puberty, the ovaries produce eggs or ova required for fertilization. In human beings, a single mature egg is released into the oviduct alternatively by one of the ovaries every month. Like a sperm, an egg is also a single cell, but is much bigger than sperms. Fallopian tubes, oviducts. Fallopian tube oviduct is a thin and coiled muscular tube with a funnel-shaped opening near the ovaries. It joins uterus to the ovary. The ovum or egg cell released by an ovary goes into the fallopian tube through its funnel-shaped opening. The fertilization of egg or ovum takes place in the fallopian tube. Uterus, womb. The 2 fallopian tubes connect to a bag-like organ called uterus, womb. The growth and development of a fertilized egg, zygote, into a baby takes place in the uterus. Do you know, the uterus has muscular tissues that expand during pregnancy to hold the growing fetus and contract after the birth of baby. Vagina. The uterus opens into a wide muscular tube called vagina, which opens to the outside of the body. In females, vaginal opening and urinary openings are separate, unlike males. The female reproductive system also has mammary glands for nourishment of infants. Fertilization in human beings. In human beings, fertilization is internal. Millions of sperms are introduced into the vagina of a female through penis during mating. The process of releasing sperms into vagina is called ejaculation. The sperms are highly active and motile. They reach the fallopian tubes through the uterus. One of the sperm fuses with the ovum or egg cell in the fallopian tube to form a zygote. After fertilization, a covering is formed around the fertilized egg, which prevents other sperms from entering into it. If the ovum is not fertilized by the sperm, it is expelled from the vagina along with some muscles and blood. This is known as menstruation. Development of an embryo. The zygote divides rapidly and repeatedly and forms a ball of hundreds of cells. The cells then begin to form groups that develop into different tissues and organs of the body. This developing structure is called an embryo. The embryo gets embedded in the wall of the uterus for further development. Figure 9.8c. This is called implantation. The embryo continues to develop in the uterus. It gradually develops body parts such as hands, legs, head, eyes, ears, etc. The stage of the embryo in which all the body parts can be identified is called fetus. The fetus is attached to the uterus by a special structure called placenta via umbilical cord. The placenta provides oxygen and nutrients to the fetus and also removes waste. When the development of the fetus is complete, the mother gives birth to the baby. The period of complete development of fetus from fertilization till the birth of a baby is called gestation period. It is about 9 months or 40 weeks in humans. The act of giving birth to baby is called parturition. Test tube babies. In some women, the fallopian tubes, oviducts, are blocked. These women are unable to bear babies because sperms cannot reach the egg for fertilization. In such cases, doctors collect freshly released egg and sperm and keep them together for a few hours for IVF or in vitro fertilization, fertilization outside the body. In case fertilization occurs, the zygote is allowed to develop for about a week and then it is placed in the mother's uterus, womb. Complete development takes place in the uterus and the baby is born like any other baby. Babies born through this technique are called test tube babies. Development of embryo in hen. Internal fertilization takes place in hens also. Soon after fertilization, the zygote divides repeatedly and travels down the oviduct. As it travels down, many protective layers are formed around it. The hard shell that we see in a hen's egg is one such protective layer. After the hard shell is formed around the developing embryo, the hen finally lays the egg. The embryo takes about 3 weeks to develop into a chick. The hen sits on the eggs to provide sufficient warmth. The development of the chick takes place inside the egg during this period. After the chick is completely developed, it bursts open the egg shell. Chick comes out of the egg shell and undergoes the development process. Similarly, young ones of insects, reptiles, and other birds hatch from eggs. Young ones to adults. The new individuals which are born or hatched from the eggs continue to grow till they become adults. Mostly, the young ones have a similar shape and structure as their parents, but in some cases, the young ones look different from the adults. Animals like frogs, mosquitoes, and butterflies have different stages of development between hatching of eggs and the formation of an adult individual. Development of frog or metamorphosis. An adult female frog lays a large number of eggs in water. After some time, the eggs hatch into small, fish-like larvae called tadpoles that grow larger as they feed on algae and bits of plant material. The tadpole grows its limbs. After the development of both pairs of limbs, the young frog crawls on the land. The tail is resorbed, removed by gradual breakdown, and the frog continues to grow until it reaches its adult body size. The transformation of the larva into the adult through drastic changes is called metamorphosis. In case of mosquitoes, when the egg hatches, a worm-like larva comes out. In about 2 weeks, it changes into an adult mosquito. Butterflies and moths also pass through the larva and pupa stages before the winged adult is born. Asexual reproduction. There are several methods of asexual reproduction in animals like binary fission, budding, fragmentation, and degeneration. Let us study binary fission and budding in detail. Binary fission. It is the simplest method of asexual reproduction that occurs in unicellular organisms like amoeba, paramecium, and euglena. In binary fission, the parent organism splits or divides to form 2 new organisms of the same kind. In binary fission of a fully grown amoeba, The nucleus lengthens and divides into two parts, karyokinesis. After that, the cytoplasm of amoeba divides into two parts around each nucleus, cytokinesis. In this way, a single parent amoeba divides to form two daughter amoebae. The two daughter amoebae, produced by binary fission, grow to their full size and divide again. Budding. Budding is an asexual method of reproduction. In budding, a small part of the body of the parent organism grows out as a bud, which then detaches and becomes a new organism. Budding occurs in organisms like hydra, sea anemone, sponges and corals. In hydra, first, a small outgrowth called bud grows on the side of its body. This bud then gradually grows to form a small hydra by developing mouth and tentacles. The daughter hydra detaches itself from the body of the parent hydra. This daughter hydra then grows into an adult organism. In corals and sponges, buds do not separate out but remain attached to the parent organism. While attaching to the parent body, they attain full size and reproduce again to form a colony.